USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show, starring Ian Pelham Turner and Helena Chard.
Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, it's 2025 and it's a really new version of the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And me, Helena Chard.
As always, I'd like to thank Helena Castrati from ALB UK TV for all his help and support and the team's help with Lissy as well. So let's roll the titles and let's get on with the show. Well, as always, Helena's got some really great royal news for us, and it starts off with Kate. It's happy birthday time.
It is. So happy birthday, Princess Catherine, 43 today, and it's a beautiful sunny day, and no doubt with the last year's events being pretty traumatic for her, I think it's going to be a very special birthday. They're back in Windsor, Adelaide Cottage. The children are back at school, but no doubt it's been a special breakfast and cuddles and just a lovely day. It's going to be very simple. I know that she's released a photograph. I think Prince William released it with the children, a special birthday one. And it was this time last year that she was admitted to hospital with abdominal surgery. That's a bit of a mouthful. And obviously then the diagnosis of cancer. So she's come through it with strength, I think probably more strength than previous, and is just so thankful. Luckily as well, we know that there's a funeral today. The late American President Jimmy Carter and Prince Edward is there on behalf of King Chard. It would normally have been Prince William, future heir, that's there, but obviously a special day. And I think it's going to be such a memorable day in general. And I know that we've had different broadcasters asking us, has Princess Catherine been getting ready to become Queen sooner rather than later? What's happening? Is she stressed? And, really, she's taking life easy. She's looking after the children and future heirs. I think both of them are a real star couple actually now, with Prince William standing in, taking centre stage, being the great guy, meeting Trump and various people. And I think we're going to see them probably over the next decades, lots of decades, at key events. So I think everyone's been a bit over the top, probably because everyone's desperate to see more of Princess Catherine. But obviously wishing them well. And I've got a feeling there's going to be there's going to be Louis playing the drums, Charlotte will be being a great ballerina, we'll have George who'll be doing the photography, and Prince William making breakfast. That's my thoughts, and lots of lovely presents. And I think, what do you think, Ian? What are your thoughts?
I think, as always, thank goodness she's got through the issues that she's gone through. That they've been putting out some reports recently that sort of showing her looking much more happy again with the rest of the royal children as well, and William. So we wish them all the best.
Yeah, and just to say as well, I think that the photograph that was released, it's a black and white shot that we've seen, but it's very, very low key, and I think it's probably something they didn't want anything too over the top with recent events in LA and fires and goodness knows what, so quite understated. But obviously she is such an asset to the royal family, so wishing her well. And also interesting as well, I was thinking about Prince William being voted the most sexy bald man for the second year running. So that was an award he was given, how he's really come into himself, which is good, and which leads on nicely to the honours system. So we're so lucky here in the UK, I think, in how people are awarded with medals and various things for their achievements in public life, so for serving and helping, and I think we're really, 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 really lucky. I think merit and bravery comes into it as well. And it happens twice a year, and I know King Charles has knighted various people. Sir Stephen Fry, one of the ones that I'm really happy has been knighted. He's obviously known for his comedy and Blackadder, but I think it's more to do with his services to mental health awareness and the environment. So obviously when you're knighted, you're touched by a sword. But there are also the others, which are CBE, and that's the Commander of Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. OBE, that's officer, and the MBE, which is member. But the knighthood, I think, is the most special. But also to remember as well that I think the Royal Companion of the Order of the Companions of Honour, Princess Catherine, was given that by King Charles last year, or was it the year before? And that's something very special. That's recognising outstanding achievements and major contributions over a long, long period of time. And I think something like 65 people can hold that only. So isn't it great that we have that system in place?
Absolutely, and I'm still waiting for mine 58 years, 59 years after personally promoting the royal family. No doubt one day they'll get round to me. Anyway.
They will. But also just remember, who's the one person that really, really wants it that didn't get it this year, but will? Who is it?
David Beckham.
Of course. But he will, because obviously he's. Wow. It's thought, people think about it months and months in advance. So yeah. I reckon next year will be his time.
And finally, Meghan.
Yes. So yesterday, 5 years yesterday, was the time that they put out on their social media that they were leaving the UK to go to America and start new adventures. It upset the royal family. They didn't speak to anyone, and it was just put out. But leading into, obviously, they have this mega deal with Netflix. Some of the productions have been a little bit of a flop, one of those things. But I think the most recent thing that's come out is With Love Meghan, I think that's it. And it's the new cookery show, lifestyle show that Meghan is part of. It's had a bit of I don't know, lots of people have said what they think about it. I mean, I think really what's happening is Meghan's going back to her influencer days when she had the TIG and things like that. So she has a new Instagram account. We have seen a trailer. It does look like it's reinventing the wheel, but it's something that she wants to do. So let's see. Who knows how well it's going to do. I think it's a bit of a take on Martha Stewart, but it's shot very well by Netflix, and it begins on the 15th, so we'll see. And I think there's only one thing. I think it's Meets Me at the Lake, which is another production that possibly will come out soon. So With Love Meghan, the new cookery lifestyle show. What are your thoughts, Ian?
I hope she does well this year. I think she's much maligned at the moment, and I wrote a piece recently for another channel just to sort of say that I think, leave them alone now and just let them get on with what they want to do, and the royal family can get on with what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I don't think the royal family will be interested in it one bit. And again, it's media that's creating this sort of fight. I think it's just something independent of them. But anyway, there's lots of royal news, but that's it for now, unless, Ian, you have some more to give.
No, well, I've got our general news now. So this is a new part of the show that we'll be doing in 2025 as well, just talking about some sort of general news that is happening in Britain. So we start off with the CPTPP. This is UK joins an Asian trade club. It is in the Asia, Pacific, Japan, Australia, and it has over 500 million people that we could potentially sell to. The Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Transatlantic Pacific Partnership. It is quite a mouthful just to sort of say that. And it goes out to 11 nations now. So 11 nations that we are now joining will give us trade, will reduce trade barriers, I should say, and actually increase the amount of opportunities to sell to those countries as well. And the countries include Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, and New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, and Vietnam. What do you think, Helena? Do you think this is going to be something of interest?
Well, I think it's going to be absolutely of interest. I hear that China is a country vying to sign up, along with Taiwan. I think it's pledging to eliminate 95% of import charges or tariffs, and obviously it can yield considerable rewards, and that's what we want to know. I think the only thing is that possibly there's not absolute 100% standards in place, because obviously each country really should have a similar standard, but you know, that's one of those things. It's obviously huge, generating 13% of the world's income. So it can't be a bad thing, I say.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So I think basically what we will see hopefully now is new trade deals. I know that Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, is talking to Europe as well in February. And so we will see all sorts of new trade deals, a more prosperous Britain for 2025. Thank goodness, and that's what we need to sort of do. And then we move on to Jaguar cars. And Jaguar cars have got themselves into a bit of bother at the moment because they've created this concept car called the 00, Type 00, that was released in Miami. And it's in two colours, white, Miami pink and London blue. And it shows really an aggressive, angled, huge bonnet and really a hint of the Batmobile as well in this car. Now, basically, when they launched it, they didn't launch the car beforehand. They did a series of models wearing very garish clothes. And Elon Musk, the famous car manufacturer and billionaire, said, "Are you making cars anymore?" That was his comment at the time. So what do you think of this new concept car?
Well, I think it's this whole thing. I mean, apparently the Gen Zs actually even hate it, so that says something. And lots of people are saying they're going to go bust, they're going to go bust. But I think it's sort of, there's somebody, I don't know if it's the creative director, I think it is, Mr. McGovern saying that, you know, the controversy really surrounding British creativity is when it's really at its best. So it's a good thing. And the whole idea really is that it's the launch of the electric car. And that's really what it's to do with. And it's something like £100,000 and upwards, which is pretty huge. So not like the cars of the olden days. I mean, I have to say, I do quite like that pink one. It's looking quite, but I don't think it's real. They're not actually really releasing those, are they? Isn't it just like a type?
These are concept cars. So basically, concept cars are really how Jaguar sees their cars innovation in 10 years' time. And I've worked with concept car manufacturers where even now, what I used to see 10, 15 years ago still haven't been brought into production. And one of the biggest things that was going to be the biggest innovation at one time was a car that has a central steering wheel. So in other words, you didn't have a left-hand or a right-hand drive steering wheel anymore. It was in the center, and that meant that anybody could drive that car anywhere in the world. So it's an interesting situation.
Wow.
However, as we move on from Jaguar, there's one person who won't be very happy about driving this morning, and that's Stormzy. Yes. Stormzy, the rapper, was found guilty of allegedly using his mobile phone whilst he was driving his Silver Wraith Rolls Royce recently, and stopped, and has now been banned for a period at Wimbledon Magistrates Court. And it's really sort of something I agree with at times, because I think, you know, people who are using their phones in the car, their mind is being taken off their driving, and that can cause all sorts of issues. What do you think?
I think he already had 6 points on his licence. Then he lied that he hadn't done it. Then he didn't turn up to court and I think was fined a few thousand, and then given another 6 points, and that's why he was banned, because he had too many points. But I think he's actually done something similar before in a Lamborghini, But I think he's known to tint his windows, but the tint is far too dark, and actually it's quite dangerous to pedestrians. So in a sense, not so good. But I guess, you know, the more famous you are and you've got these big cars, you're going to stand out a lot more. So you have to be really careful. And why would you want to put people, vulnerable people in more danger? Yeah, I don't agree to it. But having said that, I will put my hand up, and I have been guilty on occasion of doing that, and it is very wrong.
Absolutely. Okay, and finally, we've got the travel expert Simon Calder. Simon Calder is renowned in Britain as really the top expert on tourism across the world, where to go to. And he has nominated Albania this year as one of the most inexpensive and most valued holiday destinations for 2025. And so hopefully we're showing some of the imagery at the moment of Albania and what it creates. I've been to Albania and I love the amount of really quality that you can get on a holiday. And it is inexpensive. The people are friendly. They speak English as well. It's quite a common language to actually do. And so it's a great destination. It is warm, would you believe, 300 days a year in Albania, because it's quite close to Italy. And it's fabulous. You know, I always used to have a fabulous time there. What do you think, Helena? Is that somewhere you'd like to go to?
Oh gosh, I'm dreaming of sun and beaches. Beautiful, beautiful beaches. I mean, apparently TikTokers are comparing it to the Maldives, which is amazing. So it's like breathtaking, and certain areas, it's like the Albanian Riviera, which I think is it's quite a few hours from the main airport. So there are different ways of getting it, but it's absolutely beautiful and obviously incredibly cheap flight-wise. And they're saying that, you know, to go this year, because it's going to be so sought after, and you're not going to have the empty, lovely beaches that you'll have this year. So I think everyone needs to get booking. That Albanian Riviera is calling me for sure.
Right. And finally, GB News, which is one of the big TV channels in Great Britain, they've been reporting this morning that 20% of Albanians have been arrested, which you know, it just slightly is. The reality is that, yes, these are people who have come into the country illegally, have been arrested as well, and they're one of the sort of the largest groups. But the thing that I would say as well, just to finish up the news section, when I work with Albanians, they are terrific people. They are family people. They come into Britain and they really create great value in Britain as well. And I was just hearing that the brother-in-law of one of our people in the studio, 17-year-old boy, Albanian, he was attacked recently just for his jacket, and they sprayed something into his eyes as well, and he could have lost his sight. So I think, you know, like any other category, you know, yes, there are some Albanians that are causing issues as well, but in reality, the vast majority of them are peace-loving people, and they just want to bring value to Britain. What do you think, Helena?
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Ian. I hadn't received the statistics as yet, so that's the first I've heard of it. I don't know how these statistics are weighed up, and I don't like any unfair situations. I mean, what I do know is we're in a very unhappy world at the moment. Yeah. And we sort of need to work towards positivity. So, yeah, great. It's always good to highlight things, especially when they're incorrect.
Absolutely. Okay, now we're going to take a short break, and we're going to bring in our regular etiquette expert, Philip Sykes. Stay tuned. So welcome back to another popular part of our show, which is with Philip Sykes from the British School of Excellence. Philip, good afternoon.
Hello, Ian. Happy New Year to you and Helena.
Happy New Year to you as well. So can I just start the question, first of all, by asking, what do you think are your plans for the British School of Excellence in 2025?
Sure, that's a big question, Ian. The plans are to continue growing the business on a global basis, to really make as much impact as we can around the world, and really encourage people in various parts of the world to join us as partners. which would be just phenomenal to continue growing the message of how we can build and develop people to be more dynamic than they actually believe they are, to be better than they were yesterday, and to really go out there and spread the word of etiquette and manners and emotional intelligence and kindness and empathy.
Brilliant, that's great. Philip, there are lots of people that are thinking about starting businesses and are not too sure, they're treading carefully. Would you advise them to just throw caution to the wind and just do it, take action? What are your thoughts?
That's a very sort of loaded question, Helena, because I'm the sort of person that I get an idea in my head and I jump in with both feet. Then you get people with maybe a slightly more stronger left brain kicks in and says we've got to do a business plan, we've got to do our research and all those sort of things, which they're definitely going to serve you by doing the research, that's for sure. I've been very fortunate. Most of the times I've jumped in with feet first. It's worked for me, but that's taken a lot of effort and work and lots of risk and a lot of sleepless nights. I think if you go down more of a sort of augmented route where you have a business plan, you do your market research, it's going to serve you definitely in the initial stages of setting up a business, because you then have some hardcore statistics. And with all due respect, in this day and age where artificial intelligence and all the technology we have in this world is so at our fingertips, there's so much information to help you get your business launched. Not only that, there are also people in this world who are more adept at helping you and supporting you in launching your business. In other words, don't try and do everything yourself. Find experts who can complement you on that journey to starting your business.
Excellent. And I happen to notice that there's some ladies' swimsuits behind you. How's your wife's business, first of all? And I presume that they're not sort of unisex, are they?
Bay.
They're definitely not, yeah. And this
Bay
is
London.
Bay, my wife's wonderful business, which is due to launch into the United States in 2025, starting out of Florida. This is just a little showroom that we've got in the US at the moment. It's not for the public's eye, but it really is the most dynamic swimwear brand. It's a phenomenal quality right across the board. It ticks every single box, and it's for the slightly more mature older woman who wants that incredible support, wants to feel confident, want to feel comfortable and sexy at the same time, and really feel that moment of putting on a swimsuit that gives them that incredible elevation.
That's lovely. That sounds great. I'm going to have to try one on one of these days.
You most definitely have to, especially as and when the weather warms up.
Absolutely. On my way to Albania, I'll grab one. Oh, thank you for sharing that with us. That's really, really lovely. They look beautiful.
And Philip, you talk about businesses. How important will America be to you? Because I know you're in America at the moment as well. How important will America be to you in the growth of the British School of Excellence?
That's a wonderful question. It's going to really make a huge impact on the brand. The people I've worked with here in the US are just phenomenal, very open-minded, very keen to embrace, very keen to grow, and really take on new challenges. So for me as an organization, I really want to bring the quality and the level and the standards that we've managed to establish out of the United Kingdom and other parts of the world, and really introduce that here into the USA. And by no stretch of the imagination, the word British is trying to trample the USA on any level, not at all. It's about, bringing incredible quality of all nations together and helping companies grow and expand through the dynamics of their people, the people that they embrace and employ.
Excellent. And finally, because I know we've come in slightly late to you today, and I know you're very pressed for time. So can I ask finally, how can people get in contact with you again?
Certainly. hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Please reach out to us via email. There are telephone numbers on the website. We love engaging in conversation. I think for any business out there, no matter how small or how big you are, understand the importance of connecting on a personal level with people, and that's what we love to do.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you for your tips, as always, and we will see you very soon.
Absolutely.
A pleasure. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Take care, Philip, and have a good day. And now we're just going to take another short break, and we're going to bring on our final guest today, an expert, Nancy Duan. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back, and now we have Nancy Duan from Windstar, and she is the most incredible lady. When you listen to what she does, I don't know where she gets the energy from. She's just been telling us it's all to do with Chinese herbal remedies as well. So welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here and to be very privileged to be here today. Thank you so much.
We're thankful that you've joined us.
So can I just start off by sort of saying you want to build bridges between China and Britain.
Yes.
What is your vision?
My vision of the trade between UK and China, which I'm very passionate about it, is I always believe for between two countries we have got so much to do, and also for. I've been living here over 30 years now, and according to my experience, I think the British culture and the Chinese culture, we have very similar, a lot of in common. Yeah, a lot of things in common and similar. And I think the most crucial fact, of in bridging the bridge of Sino-British trade is based on the in-depth mutual understanding and recognition of both culture. And because the goods, the product, and the technology, and even the culture circulated in trade. And this.
So is that the kind of the business opportunities that China would be looking for here in the UK? What would they be? Would they want to partner in?
Yes, I think because over the years I have been working with China a lot, and I always been approached by the Chinese company and also the entrepreneurs in China, and I want to build up the partnership with British company. Yeah. So, for example, I think the semi-finished product, and also the industrial, product, and also the big brand product, particularly the brand, cover globally. Yeah, is very much interested in China by the Chinese consumer.
Fabulous.
Do you think it's very easy to build these bridges? Because sometimes, there's always, what we call Chinese whispers, pardon the pun, sort of saying, it's difficult and so forth. But how easy would it be to actually build trade links better with China?
I think, it's easy and not easy. The reason is because I think it depends on both countries, the foreign policy. Yeah, the government policy is, playing very important roles to build the bridges, of, the Sino-British trade between each other. And also, I think for the local British company, if they want to build up the relationship with China, they could, set up like a collaboration between China through the local company. Like Windstar, we organize a business trip to China once a year. Actually, we are planning to visit China in April.
Gosh.
Yeah, so people could join us.
Oh, fabulous. So you launched Windstar UK International Limited in 2017, so I believe.
Yes.
And there are training courses and summer camps and various things. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, the reason I have launched the Windstar UK International is because over the years I have been approached by so many people from China and also from local as well So I thought, there's a gap, between UK and China, which I could offer the services to them. And also, as you're already aware, so many Chinese students are coming to UK, pursue their education in UK. So I think the Chinese people are really fond of British education systems. And the Chinese parents always, wants to send their children to come to Britain, have experience in Britain, learning the culture, the languages, So that's why we successfully recruited a lot of students from China over the last few years before pandemic. Yeah, and also for the business side, we also helped a lot of Chinese company to achieve their targets in UK.
Gosh.
Apart from education, what other things do you think Britain's values fascinate China?
Apart from education, I think the British-made product is really valued, by the Chinese consumers.
And what about the royal family? Because obviously we're steeped in tradition. Do they sort of see the royal family, and are these the sort of types of things that I know? I think, for example, I think Chinese are the largest population always to visit Buckingham Palace first.
Yes, I think royal family, every time, when the Chinese visitor come into UK, they always want to visit London, and the first place they would like to visit is Buckingham Palace. It's always, packed with Chinese visitors. Yeah.
I was just about to say, there's something I'm fascinated with as well. You're the deanery synod, is that right? Of St Leonard Church. Yeah. I was interested in that. I didn't quite understand it, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, because I've been baptized in 2010. So I become Christian now. Yeah, so I always go to church. And there was opportunity for me to visit that church. It was when they had a garden show, the flower show in the church, because I always, interested in gardening work. So I said, and then I visited that church, and I just, find the people so friendly, and it's a beautiful church with the, the rich history, and also it's very close to me. So that's why how I go there now. And then afterwards, they offered me this place. Would you like to become the deanery zealot? So I said, oh yeah. So I've been offered the place to do some work for the church. Yeah.
You have to be very organised.
Yeah. And on Sunday, I normally go to the Sunday service, and I, very much, believe education will change people's life, and education certainly changed my life. Yeah, so I really want to help, the church, the students, the children in the church. So I involve a lot of, the teaching with children in the church, and also now I'm part of the intercession. So I lead the prayer in the church as well. So I really enjoy it.
Gosh.
And didn't I remember you saying that you worked with food banks or something as well?
Yes, I do working with food bank. Constantly donate some food to the food bank, because when I first came to this country, honestly, I only have one suitcase and one hand luggage. But now, look at what I got. So I think it's good for me to return to the society. Yeah, and I just can't, stand, particularly in the winter, people starving. Yeah, yes. So I like the idea, donate, to the charity.
Absolutely, and to help. And you're incredibly creative. I know that you love your oil painting, and
yes.
you sold, I think, a painting, during COVID.
Yes.
And raised some money, which is great. Because you've got the business side of you and you've got the artistic side, it's really great. But did did something with arts and culture workshops.
Yes.
But this was a while ago. That's
Yeah.
interesting. How does that work?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, because I always interested in arts. Yeah, and actually I wanted to do the arts in the university. But you know, Chinese parents, they always think, you know, doing some other subject rather than art. Yeah, so eventually I couldn't fulfill my dream to be artist. Yeah, but I always interested in arts, and so one of the local school invited me to, you know, offer the arts workshop to them. So I just shared my arts knowledge with them. And since then, I've been, you know, approached by different organizations and the schools to offer the arts workshop. So I did quite a lot. That was a long time ago. Even some British museum as well.
Perfect. So you do all this creative stuff now, though, don't you? Which is good.
Yes.
And also, you mentioned about import and export.
Mm-hmm.
Is this still to do with students or is this products?
Yeah, the import-export, which I'm working on now with my business partner. So because, again, I've been approached by so many people from local companies. They would like me to help them sourcing from China. So we help them to, you know, import goods from China, particularly the construction materials at the moment. Yeah, and also because the Chinese people like British-made product, so we also export some product to China as well.
Gosh,
yeah.
so you're the go-to woman, I think, from both sides. It's great.
Yeah, I just love doing things because, you know, life is a single ticket. You never can return. So I just love doing things.
And the summer camps, so just give us a little bit more of a vision of what and how you feel these summer camps work. And the idea, as I understand it, is that Chinese students and British students can come together, schools can come together, and you can start building bridges between school children or students, both in Britain and in China as well. How does that work?
Yes, for the summer camp, at the moment, actually, we're doing 2 ways, not just the Chinese students come over to England. We also sent British students to China. In 2015, we sent about 13 British students from Oxbridge universities, to teach in China, to teach English in China. So, and I thought, I think it's very important, you know, to, you know, understand each other rather than just Chinese students come over here to learn British culture, you know, the languages. And also, I think a lot of British students, they would like to learn Chinese culture as well. So I thought I could offer the opportunity for them to go to China. Actually, one of my friend's son came to our summer camp in China and he really enjoyed. Yeah, so I think this way also help the both, you know, culture to understand each other, particularly for young people to meet each other, to communicate each other. It's really, you know, amazing thing. That's how I believe.
Absolutely. And with these, the business trip in April, where are you going to take the businessmen from Britain to? Because I know you're going to several different provinces, aren't you?
Yes. At the moment, we are planning to bring them to Beijing to see the Great Wall of China and the Forbidden City. I think this is amazing place for British, you know, people. If they are, you know, I mean, if this is the first visit to China, I think it's really important for them to understand the Chinese culture. Yeah, and also we're going to visit the Xi'an city, which they could visit the, you know, the Terracotta Army. Yeah, is another amazing place. And then we going to bring them to Shanghai to see the modern Shanghai, and also Shandong province, because we have got a lot of links with the Shandong province. So a lot of our, you know, visitors I think they want to purchase some goods from China. So we will set up a business meeting in Shandong for them.
And I know you're very interested in technology, and the Chinese are very interested in what type of technologies are they interested in, and where do you think inward-bound Chinese investment wants to be in Britain? What are the types of things they're seeking to work with us on?
I think for the Chinese investors to invest in UK now, I think is the cutting-edge technology and high-tech. They are very interested in that, and also the environmental technology. Yeah, because now everyone in the environment is a global issue now. People very much care about where we live on this planet. Yeah, so I think in those areas, people are quite interested in that. If there is a nice, good, investment project, I believe there are still, a lot of investors would like to invest.
Goodness, Prince William would love to hear from you, I think, on that side of things, because that's what he's working hard on. And Nancy, what are your visions for the future? I mean, obviously you're doing a lot now, and how do you see things taking pace?
My vision for the future, I really have big ambitions to help the English company to build up, collaboration with the Chinese company. That's why my website is called Winstar UK Link. Yeah, so and I hope also help a lot of new entrepreneurs from China come over to here to collaborate with British entrepreneurs, particularly start-up companies, to help a lot of young people to to fulfill their dream. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And you're very obviously knowledgeable. You've got a BA's honours in business as well. So is it the attraction of actually just building better communications with China and Britain? Is that really what's in your heart?
Yes. I think it's really important to build up, the good communication between the two countries. Yeah, by, understanding to each other's culture and recognition of each other's, the culture as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's so lovely. You've got a very kind heart, Nancy. So how can people get hold of you, contact you?
People can contact me via email, which is winstar.uk@hotmail.com, or via my mobile phone. Yeah, 079 06 06 1353.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know finally as well that you've started these entrepreneurial business clubs, and you've got 1,000 members. So just tell us very briefly about that.
I think this is working with China, because China, they have got so many different kind of clubs, and these clubs, they have over 1,000 companies which based in China, and then they really would like to get involved with our work. So, and also I'm part of the Birmingham Birmingham Business Social Society. We got over 300 members there. So I think, I really would like to help both clubs to build up the bridge of this, the event, and then they can visit each other and develop business together. I think if we work together, we are strong.
Excellent.
Strength.
Well, that's a wonderful thing to finish on.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know you've come all the way, and you've got your voice back.
Yes.
We've been very worried about you this week. We've been getting messages, folks.
We have.
So saying, my voice is gone, my voice is gone.
Back today.
Oh no, there was panic in our households.
Thank you so much as well, because we will be visiting your beautiful garden. Thank you for your invite for tea. for Chinese tea.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really, feel privileged to be here today. Thank you so much for your time as well.
Bless you.
You're
Well, thank
welcome.
you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, that's been another really good first 2025 show. What do you think, Helena?
Oh, great. It's going to be a strong, happy new year. Well, we're definitely going to make it, I think, aren't we? There's going to be lots of collaborations. I can feel it. As Nancy said, I think we're going to be all coming from strength.
Absolutely. So again, as always, I'd like to thank Helena Castrati and ALB UK TV and Lissy, our production team as well, to actually creating this new show. I'd like to thank Philip Sykes for coming on again. He's always a great friend of ours from the British School of Excellence, and also Jacalyn Kerbeck from USA Global TV and Radio as well, that puts the show out to America. And hopefully at the moment we're talking about new places where you will see the show soon. I got called by Seychelles last night, so who knows where we're going to be soon.
You were talking to Seychelles, I was talking to America.
Well, there we go.
So there we go, international.
There we go. So have a great week. So for me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And for me, Helena Chard.
Stay tuned, stay happy, and we will see you again next week. 2025. This is going to be our year. Take care. Bye for now.